So during this show, I had the opportunity to interview Kevin Ortner from Renters Warehouse, and we talked a lot about these situations that happen with tenants. Whether it's a tree that will like fall into the house, making the home unlivable, or an electrical issue, or a neighbor threatening a tenant. Now all of a sudden the tenant feels unsafe and wants to break the lease and move away. Now, one of the biggest challenges that real estate investors have, or new real estate investors have, is, well, if this stuff is going to happen, why even build a rental portfolio, right? Like, why should I even consider doing this? What do you think?
Well, that would be like somebody saying, I want to open a restaurant, but somebody might send a steak back. So why open a restaurant, right? I want to sell cars, but they may find out it's a lemon and bring it back. And so therefore I shouldn't do it. So the first thing I do is I want to wrap the entire question in this wrapper, which is it's a business. Real estate investments are a business. Owning rental property is a business. Your business essentially owns an asset and then leases it to somebody, okay? And that somebody is your customer. And so if your customer has a problem, we all know there are some businesses, and you interact with them every day and I interact with them every day. Everybody's interacted with a business that hates their customer, right? Like you feel like you're annoying them. Now it's rare. To be fair, most businesses really do care. Some really big ones have people doing customer service that are so far removed from any accountability of a customer leaving, they don't really care. But for the most part, people try. But I think it puts it in perspective properly when people realize, like, for example, in your example, right? So the house becomes unlivable because of a tree falling on it. Well, that's on you.
Right.
Okay, they were inconvenienced.
Right.
They were inconvenienced because a tree fell. It wasn't your fault. You've got to fix it. You have insurance. Your insurance, this is one of the reasons why having the right insurance coverage is key, because you might want to ask that question. What happens if I have to put somebody up in a hotel or put them into another rental for a month while the roof gets fixed? So that's on you. That's the equivalent of selling somebody a car and having it be a lemon. You take that thing back if you want to give good. I mean, you could hide behind the fact that, hey, listen, sorry, you bought it, it's on you. But a lot of businesses would say it's better karma and it's better business practice to take my customer and say, this is on me. The example of having did you say a neighbor threaten them or something like that?
Yeah, so that can happen too, right? Like a neighbor just says, hey, I don't like you for whatever reason, and if you do this, hey, Greg, if you do this again, I'm going to bring the pain, right? Like,
yeah, well, that's when you call Luigi. So I'm from New York, right. So you call Luigi, and Luigi goes and says, this is my friend over here. No, just kidding. That's a tricky one, because that's the kind of thing that somebody could want to get out of a rental and use something like that like an excuse. But if you take them at their word, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you own good rental property and you buy it in places where people want to live, where there's going to be demand, you and I talk a lot about the fact that I focus on where before what, and the where is where's the demand? Is it a good school district? Is it like I buy houses at market value? I know that's like blasphemy to a lot of real estate investment people, but I buy them in market value, and I buy when I'm able to. So the timing is mainly driven by when I'm capable to do it. Okay, buy the next one. And the where is the big driver. And the deal is buying a good house in a good school district that I know is going to be in demand. That's the deal. To me, buying right is not buying cheap. And I'm fairly unique in this regard. Not unique, I'm more rare. There's a lot of people who think you got to get a deal, right? I never get a deal, and I don't care. I do great in real estate because to me a great deal is the right place. So if I have a tenant who is threatened by a neighbor and I determine that to be real, and they want to leave, and I think that I could re-rent it, this is their decision. The neighbor being a jerk is not my fault. And so I'd say, hey, look, you can leave. You got to pay an extra month's rent so that I have a month to replace you. And then I go and do that. And then I call Luigi and make sure that neighbor understands that it's one more strike and you're out. Because there's always somebody meaner and they're for hire sometimes.
That's right.
Just kidding.
Right.
But I'm not kidding. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
I mean, and I think if fear of these potential situations is going to deter one, just essentially deter you from getting into the single family rental game, then maybe it's just not for you, right? Like, I get it. Investing in real estate is not for everybody as much as we encourage it. You can come up with a zillion scenarios, but you have insurance for a reason. You have team members for a reason. That's why you have good property management. You can even utilize the local police, right? Your taxes go to pay those guys and gals out there that are meant to protect your neighborhoods and all of this stuff. So you can go to them, file a police report. You can do these types of things. But I don't think sometimes real estate investors, especially the new ones, realize that these resources are available to them to help mitigate some of these thought patterns and also risks.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned property management. Kevin Ortner, CEO of Renters Warehouse, was the person who you spoke to before me about this, and they've got the finest national property management company out there, and so that does mitigate a lot of the issues people are afraid of, like, there's going to be damage to the house and I have to deal. That's why it always comes back to me. I find it so useful because not everybody wants to be a business owner, but if you want to be an investor in real estate, consider this to be your business. You're starting a small business. It can get very big. Okay, there are companies that own 60,000 rental homes. It can get really big. The sky is truly the limit. The reason why rental homes is such a great side hack is you can do it totally part-time until you have enough that you can do it totally full-time, until you have enough where you're not doing anything anymore that you don't want to do because you're financially bulletproof. And I think it helps to do a few things. One, it gets you to accept the fact that when a customer is unsatisfied, it's the appropriate instinct to want to solve their problem, even if they're being jerks about it, like even if, right? It's the appropriate thing to think of a business as being at least a decade or two long endeavor. Like you meet anybody that says, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to get rich in a year, you say, good luck with that, right? It doesn't sound real practical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pins click into place. Long-term mindset, got to put work into it, have to have a business plan, like writing down your business plan. We talked about this before. If you're going to start a business, wouldn't you write down what your objectives are? Wouldn't you write down what the business is? You know how many investors start in this and never actually create a business plan? They just go ahead and, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and it's going to end up as it ends up. Well, that doesn't always work as well
That's terrible.
as having a tangible plan. I want to have X number of dollars in equity in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. I want to buy a property for my daughter's college fund. She's 3. My daughter's now 16, but this is what I did when she was 3. I want to buy another property for my son's college fund right when he was born. I did that. I want to own 25 properties paid off by my 60th birthday so that I don't have to ever work again unless I really love to, which I do, and so I will, but no one's ever going to tell me what to do. I mean, nobody does now anymore. But the point is that a lot of people, that freedom is the thing they crave, and owning a whole ton of rental properties with low debt is a way to get there, but there's going to be bumps along the road. So if you want that, if you want to have a thriving business, are you willing to take customer complaints? Yeah. Are you willing to wait for the results? Yeah. Are you willing to set a strategy, learn, research, perfect, work hard? If all those things are part of your plan for this business you want to build, well, then your mindset is correct, and all this other stuff is just part of the bargain.
I think a lot of this too is just understanding that this is a reality. Things will happen. Crap happens every single day. It's never perfect, ever. But we can bring a little bit of streamlining to that chaos by having the right people, having the right insurances in place. And the more you do it, the more of a pro that you'll become. After 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 deals, you'll see it becomes a little bit easier. It may not become as easy as you want it to be, but nothing good ever is always that easy. Otherwise,
Bingo.
everybody
That's it.
will do it.
Right. Show me anybody who made a lot of money without dealing with crap, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't really
That's it.
happen. So your expectations, if you have the right team, and you have the right expectations, this is a great field to be in.
There you go.